Yeah, I think there's no question that the Iranians have now responded. The Iranian regime has, in fact, through its media outlets, announced formally that it has begun attacks, it claims, on several air bases here in Iraq where US troops are based. The Aylan Assad air base, which is about 300 kilometers south of where we are now, to the west of the capital, Baghdad, has, we understand, and it has been confirmed both by Iraqi sources to us, but also the American media is confirming it through their own sources in the Pentagon. It has been under sustained rocket and missile attack for some time. What is not clear is the size of these missiles and indeed, as you point out, whether or not there have been any casualties as a consequence of them. But if, as the Iranians are claiming, these were missiles launched from Iran at the airbase, then clearly they are very large, they are of a substantial enough size to be able to travel a significant distance, and therefore the possibility of casualties at that airbase is high, although, as I say, at this stage we don't have any details on those casualties. Separate to that, up here in Erbil in northern Iraq, where there is a US consulate and where there is a large coalition base housing not only Americans but soldiers from the UK and other European nations. There have been reports of an explosion. Now, we haven't got any details of that at the moment, but the Iranians are claiming, as I say, that they have attacked several air bases, and so we may get clarification on that in the hours to come. But there is no question now that Iran's response has begun. There is a big question, though, over how Donald Trump will respond to that. You'll remember in the hours after the assassination of General Soleimani, Donald Trump tweeted a photograph or an image of the Stars and Stripes, the American flag. Well, a very senior Iranian official close to the supreme leader has in the last few minutes tweeted an image of the Iranian flag. No question, the response has begun. We await the Americans' response.
And here's the location of that airbase right here. We've learned that it's about 2.5 hours outside of Baghdad. To give you some context on location, here's a satellite view from Google Maps. You can see what it looks like from the air. It's hard to tell and make out exactly what's here, but here's what it would look like during the daylight. To give you a little bit of context about this base, Vice President Mike Pence was just there. Here's a picture of him from just this past Thanksgiving visiting U.S. troops. And we've also found this video. It's one of the first things that we've seen out of the area. This is from a New York Times reporter posting this to Twitter, saying footage of Iran attack on U.S. airbase in Iraq. An Iran state-run news outlet reported this quote, saying courageous fighters of the IRGC's Air Force launched a successful operation called Operation Martyr Soleimani by firing tens of ground-to-ground missiles at the base. The attack comes just days after the United States killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in a drone attack in Iraq. Now, we still have no estimates on what the damage were, if anyone was injured in this, but we do know that multiple missiles were launched at American bases in that region. This is a developing story, so we'll keep you up to date with any new information that we get.